Welcome. Let's see what Spirit wants us to be mindful of today. Divine Holy Spirit. Oh, they already want that one. Okay. Divine Holy Spirit wants us to be mindful of it this time. Let's see what they want. They want 3 cards. Okay, so 2 more. Okay, that's 2. And that's 3. Okay. Put that to the side and this to the side. Then this was the second deck they asked me to pull from today for guidance. Oops. Okay. That's, whoops. Okay, let's see what they want. They want this one. And do you want it upside? Yeah, they want it just like that. All right. Let's see what they want. Also 3. So that is 3. Okay. So we'll leave that there. And oh, they wanted me to talk to you about this crystal. They had me pull this blue kyanite, which is for healing and also for protection. And then they asked me to pull this raw labradorite, this is a polished one. But I was guided to speak about how I like to work more with raw crystals than with the polished ones. They have a stronger energy. So if you're in the market for crystals, keep that in mind. Be open to, they're not quite as aesthetic, but it's kind of like real beauty comes from within. These crystals, these raw crystals that haven't been changed by the hands of man, have a lot more power to them. So they were guiding me to tell you that for some reason. So we'll see how that comes into the reading. All right. This was the 3rd deck. So let's see what they want here. Okay, let me see what they want. Also 3. Okay, so it's a day of 3s. All right, anything here? This one, and then there's one more. Okay. The shape of this deck makes it a little bit hard to handle, but oh, here we go. And this one. All right. Okay, put that, and that's that. All right, so they asked us to pull it in this way. This looks like a very concise message. All right, the Angel of New Beginnings. They had that in a recent, I don't know if it was October or November, but it was in another reading. Okay, Angel of Challenges. Interesting. And the Angel of New Adventures, which at the moment we're in the energy of Sagittarius, so that kind of makes a lot of sense. Okay, this was the card that came out, and that is the 3 of Pentacles. Then we have the High Priestess and the Star card. Okay, this is very interesting. All right, I don't know how they want that. And then Alchemical Wedding. Was also in a recent. Okay, so they want to underscore something else about this. And then the Golden Rose. And sublimation was in the last reading. Okay, so there must be something there, a message, a particular point in a message they want to underscore. Very interesting. Okay, and that's interesting because this, I don't know if you can see all of the colors. They're kind of rainbow. It's iridescent. It's kind of the same as this card, which was a main point in the very last reading that we did. All right. Let's see. I think this is what they want. Yep. They're telling me that's how they want it laid out. Okay. So what are they trying to underscore? Okay. Angel of Beginnings. This has to do with endings and beginnings. And at the time I'm recording this, it's the end of a year. So it's talking about the energy. If you can see, she's got her arms wide open. So her heart chakra is fully exposed as she leaves this space behind her. And it's interesting. So we see a dove here. And I'm just thinking that I see a dove in the first and the last card of this reading. So that's very interesting. Of course, that is some sort of connection to spirituality, but you're actually leaving this behind. But it's flying. It's right behind you. It's following you. to me, I'm seeing that you have achieved a certain level of understanding of universal truths at this point in your life. At the end, at this period of time, you are now able to kind of open your heart up again. I mean, you see all this white, all this purity, and get rid of any negativity, any blockages, and walk into a new day, basically, right? We're going into a new year, a new day. Even though this reading is timeless, because we all, our paths and our journeys have different timelines. So that is why anytime you are actually viewing this video, the message is for you. I'm just speaking in the moment. So we see a dove, and this is definitely spirituality, and it's following you out of this moment and space and time. It's allowed you to clear yourself of any toxic or negative energies, and you're able to walk into a new day, so to speak. Okay, so let's keep going to see how this all comes together. So that's their preface. Then they put in the center of the reading challenges. So this has been a big challenge for you and continues to, you might still have fears about this, but I've noticed that every time they use this particular deck, which is an angel deck, they are always asking you at the time that you see this reading to work with the angels or ask for their help. So since I see this center of light here, here, and here, and these two very, very powerful cleansing and protective crystals right here, I'm hearing that they're saying during this time, if you feel any fear as you're walking, as you're trying to put issues behind you, reach out and to ask for help from the angels. Now, you can, of course, ask for your guardian angel. If you don't know how to work with angels, I tell people to ask for Angel Sandalphon. Angel Sandalphon is an archangel and is closer to the energy of humans. It's very easy to connect with. And you can ask Archangel to connect you to your guardian angels or to whatever angel you want. And a particular angel of this particular time is Archangel Zadkiel. So you can ask, yes, and they just came in. So you can ask for their help at this time as well. Okay, that enough said there. So what they're saying is it is time for you. You've gotten to a point where it's time for you to start bringing joy. Start making new plans, new goals, and bringing joy back into your life. Even make a list. It's the end of the year. You can, whenever you're watching this, you can make a bucket list. Make a list of things that you wanted to do as a child, things you dreamed of, but life made you put on hold for whatever reason. But now they're saying it's time, even if you are doubtful or you've lost hope in those or for whatever reason they were put on hold. They're saying that it's time. It's imperative that you start moving forward. And I see a lot of feathers here. So they're not just talking about things in the material world, even though they are, because they're here in nature. You know, they're hiking through the woods here. But they're also talking maybe on spirituality as well. This is a great month for it, when the sun is in Sagittarius, to connect with the knowledge you've already learned and think about ways that you can further expand, not just spirituality, but your philosophies on life and your understanding of life and humanity and the world at large. It's interesting, I just did a recent video on Sagittarius 9th house and Jupiter energy, and that's exactly what this is talking about. So they move forward to the Three of Pentacles, and I believe these are gophers, and gophers work together to build structures in their lives. And when they work together, each gopher has its own particular skill set and contributes to the project in its own specific way. So this was upside down, and this is interesting because they are in a church, which is what I was talking about, the Sagittarius energy. This has not been going on. Here you're alone, and they're asking you to start dreaming again, and here you're with others. So one of the things they want you to set intentions for at this time is making, this could be family, or it could be community, or it could be, bigger than that, some organization you're involved in, making sure that you're not so much alone anymore, that this period of aloneness, that you now bring yourself back into the world and start connecting more with others. And in this way, you will build a better foundation for yourself and, others in whatever community this is depicting. They said that's definitely been lacking during this period. And it's interesting because you see the gold color here and here. It's definitely referring to whatever you're walking out of. You see that? Okay, so we need to upright that, but I'm going to leave it upside down while we keep reading. And then the high priestess is talking. Now, of course, this is contemplation. This is solitude. She's got the horns of Aries, which talks about action, but it's action in being receptive, right? So, and she has a little cross here. So again, it's talking about new levels of spirituality, which is really interesting. And how that's manifesting in the real world, that you're now kind of getting to a level of your understanding of how things work, how energy works, how to connect to inner guidance that is helping you be more prosperous, healthier, and more balanced. Here they are balancing on a log in the 3D, in the material world. And so that went here, and this is so close. So this is something that you're still might be doubting your ability to do this, right? That this is what she sees it. She sees that she's connecting, but she's hesitant. She's not as open as you see here. And that's going to the star card, which, if you can see, there are mountains. She's in the mountains, and there's like fir trees over here. It's a little bit abstracted, but she's all dressed up for a party, like she's going to maybe a holiday party. So why she's in the middle of the woods? I mean, obviously it's almost as if she is lost, right? This is a very material, all of this material excess, but then she's out in nature, in the darkness. So she's kind of been split between her material world and her spiritual world, right? And it looks like there's been a lot of contemplation, and that maybe your material world is not as it should be at the moment. And both have stars here. But not to give up, wishing on a star. This comes back to this card where they're asking you, it's time to start having hope again. Start looking to the stars. Start shooting for the stars. Start believing that this is possible again, that you can build this in your life, that it's not too late. It's not too late. Kind of makes me a little sad. So sorry, it's like the energy kind of gets to me sometimes. Okay, yes. So, to please be hopeful. That you might not believe it yet, but you have done so much work on yourself that it's opening doors into another reality. I mean, this is kind of like what they talk about, the mystics talk about the alchemical process. Oh, and here's the number 22, Master Builder. That's exactly what this is talking about. This is beautiful. Okay, so they're just going to sum up. They've made it very succinct. They wanted a very clear reading. The alchemical, and here are the alchemical wedding. You are finally bringing in this understanding that you've come to and manifesting that in the material world. This is a time of celebration, which is exactly she's ready to party. This one, she's ready to party. Look at this outfit. She looks like a flapper from the 1920s. She's ready to party. And look at these are the same colors. They're different decks, but the same colors. And look at these snakes. They look like they're dancing together. Look at that. Right? So you're starting as you've brought your inner life and your outer life. You're taking the steps now to bring these together, that you're starting to radiate. This is going to radiate. And I think we see it here in this card. And look at that color. Look at the color, right? This is exactly what they're talking about. And the interesting thing about this card is that when this card comes up, you're always supposed to look to see how many roses are in the reading. And my shirt is full of these tiny little roses. I was wondering why Spirit was asking me to wear this. And this is what it is. What this this is also goes back to mysticism and alchemy. The rose is a very special meaning in the alchemical realm. And the more roses you see, it's talking about how much you are now able to bring spiritual ideals and understanding and intuitions and insights into the material world. That's exactly what this card means. Can you imagine? I mean, Spirit, you're just too much. But this is upside down. Why? Because you're still afraid. You're still afraid, and that's why they're doing this reading. You're still not 100% sure of your abilities here. And they're saying, be positive. You have enough understanding to bring all of it into the material world, to have blessings that you dreamed of, could have been years ago, or even your childhood. But know that is actually achievable now. Don't let the dark times, don't let the time that you were unsure, don't let that make you think that these dreams are behind you, that they're unattainable. That's completely untrue, because I think I've said this before, is that those that are the most successful in life are those who have failed the most, right? That have had the darkest days. But they are also the people that rise back up. They don't stay down. They turn their lives around. That is the key to success. Taking the wisdom and turning your life around with that. And that's what will turn this around. And here we see the radiation again of how you're bringing these together, and how that's literally that energy of becoming, having been broken and becoming whole. That energy is now emanating out of you, right? It's emanating all around you. And that's what will attract this into your life. That's why they're saying you don't have to be so active in that part right now, because you will, as long as you're positive and you start making plans. You have to have desires. If you've given up hope and you have no desires, the universe does not know how to interact with you. And that's why a lot of people ask, how come bad people always have, they're wealthy or whatever? Because they never stop desiring. Spirit can't interfere with your life. There's fate and there's free will. It's not for this video, but they can only bring you what you ask for. And of course, people that are greedy are always asking. Not that you should be greedy, because there's other issues that happen for those people. So you don't want to just become greedy, but you need to ask for yourself, because the clearer you are on what you want to build in the material, the more spirit can help you. Okay, so last but not least, sublimation. And here we have, again, this is definitely this connection and the rising up out of the dark period. But again, they're talking about, you are now at a much higher level, a much higher understanding of how the world works, how the energy works, right? How to connect to energy in various ways and various modalities. And they're saying, yes, bring this hope, right? Rise up. This is kind of like a mountain in here. It looks like a mountain peak. It's time for you to rise up into this new dawn, into this hope, right? Into the hope, the new dawn, and to dream again, and to have fun again, and to have joy again, and to celebrate again. It's not too late. You can manifest all that maybe you lost, maybe you have lost a lot materially, or maybe you've never had a lot materially. But with this new understanding, with this higher perspective of how to move forward, this is a dream that is becoming a reality. You just have to make sure that you, when you're faced with fear, to connect to spirit in some way. Ask for the quickest way is just to ask for help. Ask for help from the angels. Ask for Archangel Sandalphon to connect you to the highest and most loving and most helpful archangels and your guardian angel. Then watch for messages from the divine. That could be, which could come from anywhere. It could be from a random remark from somebody you know or don't know, a complete stranger. It can be a song on the radio. In my home, my son always finds this funny. Sometimes Siri will just start playing a random song without being asked to. And I always wait to see what the lyrics are, because quite often the lyrics have a message for me. So they can connect to anything that's energetic. Some people, it's numbers and things of that nature, but it's literally anything. You just have to be open to it. Stay open to the idea that they're always around you, and you will get the information you need to move forward. But for now, just connect again with your heart, your hopes, your dreams, and that will bring miracles at this time. Spirit, thank you so much for this reading. What an incredible blessing. Okay, for all the viewers, I wish you all the very best, and I wish you all a divinely guided day. Bye-bye for now. Bye.